Hey everybody, are you ready for your ride at Six Flags? Welcome to a new episode of Just Talkin'. If you could please give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, that would be great.
And if you have any questions at all, please email them to justtalkingquestions@gmail.com.
Thanks.
Bye.
Girls who look alike, both chatting in a mic. It's just talking, just talking. That's the same with no platform. Catch your biases, idle norm. It's just talking, so grab a drink and cheers to you for listening the whole way through. Like you promised it's just talking, just talking. Just talking.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Just Talkin' podcast. Here I am with my bestie, Allie Ryan.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Kelly.
Allie, how are you coming in today?
I'm great.
You're
How
wearing
are
a
you?
bandana. All right.
I am wearing a bandana, and there was a young lady. I'm not going to mention her name, but in the 7th grade, she was wearing a bandana at the middle school dance. And it was very provocative and very alarming for everybody. Everybody was like, she's wearing a bandana like that. It should not be allowed.
Yeah. But of course,
and now here I am.
She was probably truly one of the only girls in the grade that has gone through literally anything.
Yeah.
If you really think about it. Like, it's interesting when you...
Don't make it. I mean, who am I to judge? She was, 13 wearing a bandana. It's not any better.
No, I know. No,
30 wearing a bandana.
No. We were in total right as 7th graders to be like, holy shit, you're wearing a bandana right
What's
now.
on your lip?
What's on my lip? I don't know. What?
Oh, no. I think it's just...
My face? Great news. Great news. Sorry. The dog is trying to come in here, and Bruce is stretching a selfie stick to
poke at him to make him to quit crying and go to bed.
To quit whining, yeah. I recorded him earlier. Whenever I put on sneakers now, he starts whining because he's like, either you're taking me with you or you're leaving me, and I can't handle the latter, so you better figure it out,
Right.
I never got the ladder thing.
The ladder?
The former or the latter?
Yeah, but people my issue is that people start talking too fast, and then they're like, yeah, and I want the former or the latter, and I'm like, well, fuck, now I have to remember back 2 sentences to what you were.
Yeah, now you're like, wait, which one were you talking about? Why can't you just reference what you were talking about?
Hey, you guys keep going.
You guys lost me. For a
We
second.
lost you. See?
Talking about... Well, yeah, because you're not... wait.
Well, the problem right now is that the dog...
I get how it's so difficult to follow.
The former or the latter?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times it's 2 very long sentences. And then they go, which, depending on how you feel,
Who's
former
they?
or the latter. People when they're talking.
All right.
It's the truth. They do long scenarios, and then they're like, former or the latter. And then you're like, well, what was it even... I don't even remember what I was talking about. Linguistics, really, are a trip. I guess. You got something on your face now. Let me get it.
You got
I
it?
can't get it. Oh my
Jesus,
God. I had to,
Kelly.
I know. I had to
Did you get it?
Yeah, I did, but only because I fucking scraped it off.
I know. I just start bleeding. Where's Bruce?
Bruce went to go help the dog figure its shit out.
Yeah. Good.
I have to tell you, I have to talk about this because it has been bothering me.
Go ahead. Does it have to do with me?
No.
Why isn't it about me?
You don't want it to be about you
Okay.
once I continue with what I'm saying. Okay. So about 2 weeks ago, ish.
Boring. I happened to yawn.
About
sorry.
2 weeks ago, I was walking Soup, and there was a dead squirrel in the road. Okay, one that clearly got hit by a car, whatever. And me and Soup kind of laughed about it. He did his thing where he was like, finally, you got what you deserved. And I was like, Soupy, whatever, right? So I was like, that's a little weird. Okay. Then we're on our way to Wenatchee, Washington to do a show. We witnessed a terrible car accident.
We didn't witness it happen. We came up on the aftermath.
Yes. We saw the aftermath, if you will. Mm-hmm. Then later we passed by 2 deer that had been hit. Then yesterday I'm walking and there's a dead bird just on the ground. And then yesterday when I was driving, there was a dead possum on the road, and it's freaking me the fuck out.
Well, eventually it's going to stop.
The dead animals?
All the dead animals.
What do you mean eventually?
I just mean,
something has to
well,
stop.
I just mean like, I mean, it no offense, it means nothing.
Okay.
We cannot go on this way.
So it's going to stop. You're going to stop seeing dead animals day after day after day, and then you're going to turn around and be like, wow, that was nothing.
I know. I just hope that I don't, like, a witch hasn't cursed me for making fun of witchery lately, because I feel like lately, I don't know. I just hope I haven't been giving off an aura. I don't know. Look, I don't know the way that the universe runs, but it's freaking me out.
I highly doubt, Kelly Ryan, that you have done anything in the past couple of weeks or something that would therefore have the universe throwing dead animals in your face left and right.
It does sound ridiculous when you put it like that. It does sound a little silly. Oh my gosh! So we have to tell you about this deer in Wenatchee. This deer, okay, was on the side of the road, and Bruce was like, honk at it.
Because it was, okay, so we were going around like curves in the mountains, and I was like, well, we can't just stop in the middle of the road, and then some psycho is going to come around the corner and fucking smash into us.
Right.
So I was like, well, fuck, I don't want this deer running out in the middle of the road. I want to keep going. So I was like, honk at it.
So I honked at it, and I'm telling you, this thing looked like straight out of a Disney movie. It just started hopping very like, like it looked so funny.
Yeah.
And I wish we would have recorded it because it seriously looked like a cartoon. It was so cute. And that's why I don't like it when people are like, deers are just vessels for diseases. It's like, bitch, so is you, you know? So it's like, don't be mean about the deer. I like deer.
Okay.
I like deer from a distance, but whenever we were in Yellowstone and those deer started getting too close, whenever that freaky ass guy.
Yeah, they were aggressive.
But that dude was also freaking us out at that. We stopped at this like little viewing area because there was like, I don't know, we just pulled over and then a bunch of deer started walking around, and this fucking Hills Have Eyes dude was like, was just pulled up in his truck and was like, don't get too close because the deer carry wasting disease. And we were like, dude, I think you got a little bit of that fucking wasting disease, bub.
Yeah, he was not right.
He was not okay. And
okay.
The thing is it's like I wasn't going to walk up and pet the deer. You know what I mean? The deer, if anything, was going to walk up and pet me. I mean, those deer were so confident.
They were something. I've never seen deer like that in my life.
I had to bear spray. I thought I was going to have to bear spray the goddamn deer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was getting pretty close there.
Yeah.
Soup is very intently listening right now.
I know. What's crazy is as long as we've had a dog, he has only gotten 10 times more attached than when I thought he was extremely attached.
He's a little deer dog.
He is a little deer dog. When he curls up in a little ball and looks like a fawn, stop, get out of here. I got to tell you guys, I was watching a new show last night called Cruel Summer.
I haven't seen it. Who directed it?
Jessica Biel. Jessica Biel directed it. In the first 10 minutes, I was like,
an interesting face.
She's got an interesting face, interesting career.
Yeah, interesting.
She like dropped out of the acting game.
Yeah, don't really like her last name.
Biel sounds like.
Isn't she married to Justin Timberlake?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Which is interesting.
That's also.
She definitely has the more masculine energy out of the two of them. In my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah, but
Justin Timberlake's pretty dang masculine.
Yeah, but she is. I mean, she kind of has the physicality of a horse, in my opinion. Not face wise, but body wise. She just looks like a tall, strong woman.
Yeah, like she could carry somebody.
Yes.
Through.
Yes. So this movie, originally first 10 minutes,
Cruel Summer, you said?
Cruel Summer. It's on Hulu. And it got a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. So I was like, all right, I'll keep watching it, whatever. I'm telling you, 2 episodes in, this is the worst part. They only release 1 a week. I am hooked, okay? So the whole concept, all right, is this one girl is like a nerdy girl at first, right? they're telling her side of the story about how, over the course of a couple of years, this girl she knew went missing, and she basically ends up replacing her in her life. Has her boyfriend, her friends, while she's gone missing, right?
And nobody noticed?
Nobody noticed what?
That there was a new her?
Well, nobody
I'm
really...
already confused.
Yeah, nobody really... Everyone... Like, people brought it up, being like the girl's original friends were like, don't you think it's a little weird? Like, what are you doing? Whatever, right? And then the next episode is from the girl who got kidnapked's perspective.
Okay.
So then she basically says, she comes out in the first episode, and this is where the whole thing starts to spiral, is that the girl who's kidnapped says that Jeanette Turner, the nerdy girl, saw her kidnapped and didn't do anything in order to continue living her life. And it has me hooked. There are so many twists already. I've only watched 2 episodes, okay? And the people, I love it. It is so entertaining. I was sitting there by myself, and it's the first time in a very long time where I was like, shit, there are only 2 episodes, and I have to wait. I haven't watched something along the TV calendar.
Kelly and I don't really watch
TV.
Like, we watch shitty reality TV sometimes.
Yeah, but
and
not
cooking
stuff
shows. But other than that,
not stuff where I'm like sitting waiting to see what happens.
Like, I don't have the time to watch something that has to be so, like, you have to really, really pay attention to it. I mean, Queen's Gambit, I watched 2 episodes. I was like, yeah, this show is great. And then I never continued watching it.
This one has me more hooked.
Oh, okay.
Because the whole game of it is every other episode is the other one's side. So it's basically this back and forth from different perspectives of who you're gonna believe in the end.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's Soup. Sweetie. Soup?
Tell him to come here.
Come here. Come here.
Come on. Come here. Good boy. Go to bed. Go to bed. Hey, go to bed. Bed.
Come here.
He's such a bastard.
Okay. All right. Good boy. All right. Now we sit down.
He's looking at me like, what? So?
Brat, you have to be here for the...
He has to be here. Well, because here's what happened. What happened? Last week, he got to sit up here. So now he's going, if it's possible for me to sit with you, why wouldn't you let me do that each time? Give him an inch. He takes a mile.
Kelly brought the dog into the shower for a second today.
It was very funny. And then he started whining.
You have to be the one to determine that there will be space.
Oh, no, I know. But it was just very funny, I thought, to...
It is funny.
Yeah.
But he will just grow more and more attached.
Yeah, well, I love him. I was thinking about it the other day after I saw that TikTok of people that had 7 chihuahuas. I was like, I think I'm going to have to do that.
Kelly.
I think I'm going to have to
He's
have
a
a bunch
great
of
dog.
Literally
I'm not
like
saying that he's
one
not.
bad day away from being the lady with 5 chihuahuas in a stroller.
You know what it is? You know what it is about chihuahuas in particular that I've figured out? And even though they are brats and they're annoying and whatever, they all have such insane personalities.
He does have a crazy personality.
That's what I love about it. Is that they're all different and they're all...
Yeah, Kelly, all dogs are different in
But some of them are
personality.
boring as fuck. Some dogs are boring as fuck. And I don't want boring dogs.
Okay.
I'm just saying. You ever meet a dog that just like for instance, we knew somebody growing up, she had 3 German Shepherds, huge German Shepherds, boring. They were all boring. Who?
You have headphones on. You can't whisper into the headphones.
Remember? All 3 of those dogs were very boring. So boring. You didn't even know who I was talking about when I mentioned 3 German Shepherds.
Yeah, I also forgot her.
What's her deal?
She's fine.
She's
a
little boring.
Okay.
She's
Yeah.
a little bit boring.
Yeah.
Are you guys still in a fight?
Who?
You and Kelly?
Why were we in a fight?
You were in a fight before the podcast started?
Oh.
We were in a fight before the podcast started because Kelly sometimes forgets that maybe possibly
Why would you do this?
something else is going on in my life than whatever Kelly has planned. So Kelly will be like, we're doing this at blank time without communicating it to me at all. And then when I say, oh, I didn't realize, she's like, well, it's more of like an invite thing. Well, if it's an invite thing, then you should ask and not tell me that I'm doing something.
I just figured if you're going to be in the building, if I'm doing something.
It wasn't confirmed that I was going to be in the building. It was just.
It wasn't confirmed that you were going to be outside of the building.
That's true too.
But
It's not like you said I have plans and I was like, well, we're supposed to Skype.
No. She turned to me and she said, we're Zooming with Andrew at 7:30.
Andrew's our older brother.
And I said,
Confirmed.
oh, okay. And I was like, you didn't tell me that. And she was like, well, Andrew and I had talked about it earlier, and obviously you would be included. I was like, okay, well, you could ask if I am able to. And she was like, well, it was more of an invite. An invite is, would you like to? An invite is not, we're doing this at 7:30. Those are two different things. And Kelly forgets because we all moved up here and we don't know people. Kelly forgets that maybe perhaps I could have something else going on than being at her beck and call.
You'll Skype with me, won't you, Soupy?
And it's not even that I can't be there. I just hate being told what to do instead of just asked if I could do something.
I know. Allie hates being told what to do.
I hate it.
This is true.
Real rebel.
Yeah, it's true. You've always hated being told what to do. Always.
Do you like being told what to do?
Sometimes
She doesn't mind it as much as
I don't really
do.
care. Because I'm kind of like, well, I probably would have done something similar to that anyway, I guess. Shoot.
I really...
You're looking for the path of least resistance.
Yeah, I'm not going to fight anybody on a lot of things.
I think the reason why I don't like being told what to do is that if you ask me, there's a 99% chance I'm going to say yes. Like, I will do what needs to be done, if you just ask. What I don't like is being told, you're doing this at this time, whatever. That shit drives me nuts.
But
Kelly knows this, and she's known it for however long.
But also,
and
you've been more prone to, quote unquote, break the rules growing up than I was. So you had to actually be told what to do sometimes. Whereas it was like, well, where's Kelly in her room? She's not going to be anywhere else.
Don't be like this.
It's true.
What kind of rule breaking are we talking here?
She didn't do
Nothing.
anything
I didn't
crazy.
do anything wrong, really.
No.
You're the one.
Oh.
You're the one who had your big mess up,
What was the big mess up?
and
This
I
is
never did anything
so-
like this.
What was the big mess up?
Kelly was manager of her volleyball team.
I've heard this story.
You've heard this
Yes.
story.
Because this story.
I don't even want to tell this story. It gives me anxiety.
Why?
Because
No,
I feel...
your friend sucked and didn't cover for you.
Yeah, what a fucking bitch.
And
Jesus.
partly though, that's kind of your fault because she sucked to begin with, and
She
I
did
knew
suck.
that, and you didn't. And then the other thing is that
I
What
had
was
a
the
big-
volleyball team record, though?
One of
What
my
are we
big
talking about?
flaws was hanging out with ugly bitches in high school. And the problem with ugly bitches is that in high school, they still suck personality-wise. So now you're just ugly and you fucking suck.
But it wasn't even just that. It was that if you had broken the rules prior to this, you would have known to ask your friend to cover for you in case your parents were wondering where you were.
So you're
Did you ask her to cover for you? And she didn't?
She knew where I was, and I said, I'm telling my parents I'm staying at your place.
And she didn't cover for you? That fucking bitch.
How did it come to the situation where she needed to cover and did not?
So my phone had died, and
You're already fucking up.
yeah, my phone had died, and my parents called her, and instead of saying, "Oh, she's with the volleyball team," she said, "I don't know where she is." Why would you say you don't know
that's
where
not the
I
right
am?
answer. Why not just snitch on you?
I don't know.
The answer in that situation is not to snitch on you, or if you don't even want to, I don't know where she's at. Is the farthest because she's not.
And then they were
So-
it was even
So-
worse because Kelly came home and she had the vehicle, and then later on our parents found the receipt from McDonald's at like 4:00 in the morning. So not only was she like
But you got in
hanging
trouble
out
for
with
eating
all
fast
these
food.
hanging out with all these boys, but she was hanging out with all these boys at like 4:00 in the morning and was driving around that late.
So
I know, it was crazy. My brother and I were so happy because it was the first time Kelly had gotten in trouble and she was fine. And like we knew she was fine.
Did you know where she was?
No, I didn't know where she was, but I was like, I'm sure she's fine.
Were you worried?
well,
or were
my
you like,
parents,
This is juicy.
my parents were like, of course,
I was
jumped
a
to the
tiny bit
worst
worried.
conclusion.
Yeah.
So they were like, she got raped and is dead in a ditch.
Okay.
No, I'm dead serious. That's what my parents said to me. They were like, we thought that you got raped and you were dead in a ditch. And I was like, whoa. I was like, no, I was just literally eating French fries with a bunch of high school volleyball players.
Were you making out?
No, I didn't touch any of them. I just
Didn't
wanted
touch
fucking friends.
Yeah.
That was it. That
Yeah.
I
And
you
friends
had
that I
a-
didn't fucking hate.
And you had a car.
And I had a car. And so we all decided to just hang out. And
Were they drinking?
No.
It was like an actual innocent gathering.
What were you guys doing? Walk us through the night.
So
Unless you don't want to relive it.
I don't really want to relive it,
We
but
don't have to.
it's just, here's what's annoying to me is it's like I look at that scenario and I go, it was just a really good example of how, like, when you're young and you feel, because I didn't feel comfortable. I wanted to hang out with them because I didn't like the friends that I had, but I didn't feel comfortable doing what I was doing. You know what I mean? That's not right. That wasn't right with me. I didn't like doing it. I never lied to my parents ever.
And
Ever.
Did they say lie to your parents?
Well, they were like, basically, they were like, just tell him you're staying with Erin. Like, it'll be fine. And I was like, okay, well, why would I just stay at Erin? So I was like, yeah, Erin and her boyfriend got into a fight. So I'm just going to stay with her, whatever.
What time? This all wasn't planned ahead of time.
No, I mean, it was, but it wasn't. Like, they knew that I was staying at Erin's. And when they tried calling me, I don't even remember. They tried calling me in the morning, I guess. And she said that they didn't know where I was. And then by the time that I plugged in my phone, finally, someone's phone, Erin called one of the guys that was there and was like, Kelly's parents are looking for her. Whatever. So I called my parents and I was like, hey. And they were like, we don't know where you are, but you better get home right now. And I was like trying to piece it all together sitting there because I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I told her that I was, like, why wouldn't Erin say that I was with her? Like, so confused.
Or not even at least say where you were.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
to say
confused.
you don't know, like,
and
what
I
a
was just
fucking
like,
idiot.
I'm at a friend's place, and they were like, what friend? And I was like, Ben, and they were like, well, who's there? And I was just like, it's just me and the guys from the volleyball team, and of course they're freaking out because they're like, oh, it's just her and a bunch of guys, and it's like, well, if you pay attention to me, Mom and Dad, you know that I'm not fucking touching anybody, like, it's really fine. And they were very, worried. And I had never seen my dad that mad at me before. And ever since then, I'm like, I'm not lying to them. I hated lying to them to begin with. And it was just I think it was a really good lesson for when you're young and you just want people to like you, what you'll do in order to get their approval. And it's not even necessarily peer pressure, It's not like they were like, Kelly, drive us around and hang out with us or else we're not going to be your friend. What are you, lame? Nothing. It was just like, okay, I finally have a chance to be friends with people I actually like. You know, I'm going to do whatever it takes because I felt very like alone at school.
I think
whatever.
there have been a lot of times where you and I have done things or been a part of scenarios that make us uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Mostly because, but at the same time, you know, there were a lot of things that we weren't introduced to until a later age, and therefore, like, things that made us uncomfortable, majority of people didn't make them uncomfortable.
Yeah,
because we just
like
hadn't
lying
been
to your parents, you're saying?
Yeah,
just a lot of things. Like if I were a pro at lying to my parents,
I mean,
this
it's
whole
not like I
scenario
lied all the time.
No. But this scenario wouldn't have happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have thought it more thoroughly through. But I didn't know how to lie to my parents either because I never did it. And so when all of this mixture finally, I mean, you had a whole combination of things. You had me not knowing how to lie, me being inherently an innocent person. So I'm like, what's the big deal if I'm hanging out with a bunch of dudes? I'm not going to touch them. Like, what's the problem? I'm not drinking. I'm not smoking. Like in my head, I'm going, what's the problem?
If you're going to hang out with a group of dudes, I feel like a volleyball team is
the group, probably. Yeah. And they all watched out for me like I was, you know, a really good friend of theirs. None of them were interested in me. It was like totally good. And I think what ended up happening and why she didn't tell my parents where I was is because I think she was mad that I was becoming closer friends with all of them because she was the other manager of the volleyball team and she wasn't invited.
Oh, she sucks.
Wow.
So I think that she was
Now we're
like,
getting somewhere.
I think she was like, Kelly took my place, like in Cruel Summer, and Kelly took my place.
Bring it
I
back.
was like, bring it all back. Dude.
Yeah, and now I'm upset, and now I'm gonna try to ruin her.
She also was like one of those kind of Easton Redding ladies who like carried around a pocket knife and thought that she was cool.
She thought she was a hick, and it was very bizarre.
Like she was just very.
So,
and it was like, just because you have wide hips at 15 doesn't.
folks.
She had some of no.
I'm not being
Her-
mean. Wide hips are fine.
She literally would only. She wore the same outfit like every day, and took a lot of pride in being like, you know, kind of like the hip chill girl. But she really created that thing for herself, right? So then what happened was, because all this happened, later that week at volleyball practice, I slipped a list of who Aaron basically thought was attractive and who was ugly on the volleyball team, and I slipped it into the locker room, and they found it, and then they all hated her.
Kelly
Ryan!
was this?
No, don't you even freaking dare, though, because you're sitting here being like, and as innocent as I was.
No,
like,
no,
was trying to create
that was the
drama.
moment.
You!
That was the moment where I was like, I've lost it.
Yeah, it's like
Fuck
a
this.
fucking Mean Girls.
Now I'm an asshole. Now I'm officially an asshole.
This is
that,
like your Two-Face moment. And
that literally
Was this
literally
before or after you got hit?
This was after. This was after that. Yeah. And so
Chaos.
once this
Yeah, a
happened,
lot
then
of
I
chaos. Was
then
this
I did
senior
that,
year or
and then I
junior?
started stealing stuff from the bookstore, but then putting it back later in the day just to piss off the girl who ran it. That
What?
drove her
Who
nuts.
ran it?
She ran it. And
I will
she
never
would do,
forget one day I was sitting behind her in math class, and that girl did her ponytail 7 times in a row. 7 times she put it up and then took it down and put it up and then took it down. That shit pissed me off, and I'll never
Yeah.
forget it. I was like, there's no way you think it actually feels different. You're not even looking in a mirror, bitch. You can't see whether or not it looks good. It was just like, oh, I have thick hair and I am playing with it in class. Aren't I fun or whatever? And I was like, no, you're annoying.
Yeah, she was really.
hate
she was
you.
really annoying.
She
which
was
is-
one of the most annoying people I've ever met in my life.
Which is partially why I did what I did. Because what I would do
The
is
whole
I would
family
go
annoying.
in during lunch and I would take stuff and put them in my boots. And then she would do a count of everything and she'd be like, stuff's missing, whatever. And then she would report that stuff was missing. Then I would go in later at the end of the day, put it all back. And then the overseer of the store that worked at the school would be like
everything's fine.
everything's fine. She'd be like, What?
It's just literally like that dude from Soul, the counter guy.
Yeah.
Damn, Kelly,
That's
you're
so
chaotic,
funny.
dude. I didn't know that you were full
She
of...
didn't even do anything to you, really. I mean, she was annoying, sure.
No, but something happened where I was just like, fuck this.
You literally turned into from Harvey Dent to Two-Face.
Yeah.
just like that.
Yeah, but in very subtle, funny ways that only entertained me. No one else knew what was going on. I didn't have to tell anybody
And
else
really
what was
no
going on.
harm. I mean,
No harm.
The thing about the volleyball team, I guess that's pretty catty. But the bookstore thing, no harm.
Well, you know what I'm thinking?
Just funny.
You want to know the best part?
Huh.
Is that I helped her work on that sheet
Oh, but
about
you
who was
said-
hot and
you
who
s-
wasn't,
you
and
said
then
it was just her.
and then I said it was just hers.
So you had put in your
2
your
cents?
opinion also.
Yeah.
Did you do this in a...
Ain't nobody was hot on that team, Kelly. It should have been a fucking ghost town on one side and a long list on the other.
Did you put the list together with her knowing you were going to give it to everybody?
No, we were friends at that point. And then after that, I was like, fuck this bitch. All right, I'm throwing in the towel. I'm no longer a good person.
Have you talked to her at all about this?
Oh, no, she
you
has no
never
clue.
Talked again, right?
No. After that whole shtick, I was kind of like, see ya.
There was, I mean, I had some beef with I had beef with really only one girl in high school, but I yelled at her in a diner in front of a bunch of people, including some teachers. So
That is true.
What
she
were
got
the teachers doing at the diner?
So it was
Nowhere else to eat.
basically what had happened was it was a classic scenario of me having a huge crush on somebody. And she said, "Oh, I have a class with them. I can help you out."
Bitch.
And then 2 weeks later, we're at senior night or something. And it's like a whole thing. Half the school's there, whatever. And she texts me during the middle of it. And she says, "Hey, don't know how to tell you this, but he and I are actually, like, we're together. We're dating. It turns out we really like each other. So I'm sorry."
I'm still mad about this.
And I said, "Okay." And
Fucking ginger
she was at a
ass bitch.
diner later on. And I showed up at that diner.
Because you knew she was there.
No, we were just going to eat there. Me and my
Again,
friends.
there's like nowhere to eat.
And then we walked in and she was there.
With him.
No, with her girlfriend. And I walked over and I looked at her and I said, "You can do whatever the fuck you want, but do not ever talk to me again. Ever." And I fucking yelled at her. And she was mortified. And I turned around and Miss Lassard was standing right there.
Who is
Lisa Lampanelli's sister.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
She was like, "Go off, bitch."
She was looking at me because I was like, I didn't say all too much in school. I mean, I was on the school TV show, but in class and stuff, I was pretty quiet.
Very throw that in, humble brag that you did the morning announcements.
It was not the morning announcements.
I
It
did the
was-
morning announcements.
She did the morning announcements at my school. I was on the school TV show. I got the most artistic female award that was awarded by not my classmates, but the staff and teachers who saw potential in me, which I
Is
appreciated.
this in the yearbook or is this just...
It was not in the yearbook, but I did get a plaque. And I think I got like a gift certificate or something. But yeah, me and Brian Conforti got most artistic. He is like I mean he drew a picture of Kelly and I that's in my room. He has his anyway,
Napoleon Dynamite style?
he and I were friends for a long period of time.
Yeah.
You know, and I really, you know, I hope he's doing
We
well.
wish him the best.
We
yeah.
wish him the best. We'll leave it at that. But anyway, so missing man.
Miss Lassard. Stop. Don't. Miss Lassard. Go ahead.
He'd laugh. Okay.
He would laugh. He would
would laugh
okay,
at
he
that.
went missing for a little bit, and Max Spinelli, who
he was fine.
but Max goes, they found him because
Because Max was like, "I don't know where he is."
no, he was like they found him because there were paintbrush marks into a dumpster.
No, I will never forget when he told me. He was like, yeah, I left my phone at home and I went into New York City and yeah, they couldn't find me for a little bit, and then I was in Times Square and I looked up and I saw my parents and they were like, and he goes, and I just looked up and I was like, shit.
What was he doing? He was just like...
He just was done. He was like, I'm out of here. I'm going and
How
back.
old was he?
No,
He was like 19 at the time.
he kind of lost his marbles.
Yeah,
a little bit.
it got a little. There's more, but I will not share it. Out of due respect to him, I will not share it.
He's halfway through the middle of a painting, and his parents just see the brush go off the page, and they're like, he went this way.
Talented guy. So, but it is weird to be like, okay, I know the type of person I am, and then I was hand selected next to him as like, okay, you're both the most artistic students, and wow, did we go in different
ways,
different directions. But anyway, so
you're at the diner, Mr. Sark.
so I'm at the diner, I bitch this girl out, and then I left, and then like 2 weeks later they broke up because it turns out they didn't actually really like each other, and then I started dating him.
Wow.
Like a month later, and I was obsessed with him for like a year prior.
For a year prior.
And then I dated him for like 2 months, and then I fell in love with his best friend.
Damn.
So I went like a whole year being like, this is the guy for sure. And then met the friend, and I was like, wait a minute. They were not friends after.
Damn, dude. This is chaotic.
I was a little bit messy at the end of my high school career.
Yeah.
But there was, you know what, throughout all of that, there was one friend outside of that two combo that out of all of them, I would have picked.
Oh, I know who you're talking about too.
I loved this kid. Oh, God. But I thought he was too cool for me, so I never pursued it.
I remember we were at a party or something, and this was the summer before college, and he and I were sharing some vodka, and then mom and dad showed up to pick us up, and I was like, fuck.
Who, John?
Yeah.
Wait,
damn
say
it.
that you guys were at a party?
We were at a party, and people were just like hanging out, whatever.
This is
and
in high school?
Yeah, and me and this guy, this is at the end of high school. So, and me and this guy are chilling, and he was a guy that everyone thought was cool, whatever. And we were just like sharing some vodka, and then all of a sudden, my parents pulled up, and I was
What
like,
do you mean by sharing vodka?
like out of like a cup.
Oh, you're drinking out of the same cup.
Yeah.
Too strong.
No. It was like, you know, like, but
It was like, what?
it was.
He was so cute.
Yeah,
He
it was like,
was so cute.
to be totally honest, I remember sitting there and being like, I am the luckiest goyle in the world. And then before you know it, Kim and John pull up. They're like, we're here. And I'm like, well, nice to see
Oh, my
ya.
God.
So Kim and John don't pull up. Do you think that's the night of all nights or what? Think it really is going down that night? You think you guys are gonna really seal the deal?
No. I think there might have been a little sealing of the deal, and then me getting scared to be like, I gotta go. I didn't have a lot of confidence in that whole
What's he doing now?
area. I have no clue. Oh, he's a lawyer.
Damn.
Yeah,
You
I don't even.
You should have
He
sealed
just
the
passed
deal.
on. I just talked to him like a few weeks ago.
That's a lot to take in. Wait,
Like,
why?
Like maybe like a month ago or so.
Were you like, I need legal representation?
He misses me, doesn't he?
I said like congrats on him passing the bar or whatever, and then
And then he blocked me.
no, and then he was like, hey, I keep up with like your music and your comedy, like you guys are doing great, like all the stuff, like whatever. And I was like, damn, like I'll fly you out, man.
He's gonna fly
If
you
I could
out.
afford it.
I'll fly you out. Shoot.
Yeah, he should fly me out. The fuck? He's the one with money. Hey, John Bennett.
You know what's funny is I just told that story, and if he were to ever see this, he'd be like, I don't remember that at all. He like, who? Wait.
I remember my friends who were girls in high school. They were like, why do you like him? Like what? Like why? And don't do this.
Well, I'm trying to find out what he looks like.
He was not on the Celebrity Apprentice. I know
No,
for a fact
he
that
was
he
This
was
is
not.
Lisa Lampanelli. I was. Well, what's funny is that whenever you Google his name, it immediately comes up John Benet Ramsey.
You know what's so funny is that if Miss Lassard knew now
what we ended up like,
she would love us. First of all, she would have loved us. Second
she
of
dead?
all,
What are you talking about her like?
Huh?
This? What are you talking about? Like she would have loved you? Oh, she would have loved you then.
she didn't like. I think I had one class with her. Maybe actually, I don't even think I had her as a teacher, but she was very involved in the theater realm. Her daughter did theater, and so her daughter got all the lead roles. Yeah, I'm calling you out. Anyway,
she was talented.
No,
she was a talented
foul.
girl.
She was talented, and she did look like Wendy, and she played her. So fine. But Kelly and I are terrible dancers. So
I would go out on a limb and say I'm a terrible dancer, singer, and actress. I'm a triple threat in the other way. Like, you do not want to cast me. Trust me.
So our freshman year of high school, Kelly and I tried out for the musical Back to the 80s. Yeah, it was Back to the 80s. And Kelly, during the middle of her dance audition, just stopped. Just stopped doing it and just went, nah. And so we didn't get cast.
Which, looking back on it, is really exactly what I was probably meant to do.
But I think now, if she saw us and knew us, she'd be like, those girls, that doesn't make any sense, but at the same time, it makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, well, but also, I didn't start being a raging bitch until I was like 18.
Is this her?
That's
no.
No.
The only thing I can find on her is apparently one time a Lisa Lampanelli impersonator showed up at Lisa Lampanelli's house, called Miss Lassard here, I won't say her first name, and was like, I'm locked out of my house, what's going on? And she's like, you aren't Nancy. Or you aren't, oh, damn it. You aren't
It's
Lisa.
not, if
Lisa.
you look up St. Joe's High School, it's that one right there. Emily Lassard is her daughter. I'm sorry, we can bleep it.
A lot of bleeping going on.
The...
Well, I mean, I just Googled Lisa Lampanelli's sister, and it's Nancy.
Yeah.
But there's not really much going on here.
Yeah. It is interesting how competitive the whole Broadway musical theater group is in Connecticut.
Yeah.
Where, like, I mean, in a small town in Texas, I probably could have gotten every role. But
Yeah, I mean...
maybe I should humble myself a little bit. I could have been every background.
I really want you to find her because she is an iconic woman.
Yes. And there were honestly
is
quite a
something.
few teachers at St. Joe's that were very iconic. And one of them I really don't want to Google because I am worried that she might not still be alive. And one of her quotes is one of my favorite quotes.
What was the quote?
She would always say when people would be like, why did I get a C? Or like, why did no one's invited me to prom. She would just look at them and go, such is life. Guess what she taught? Guess what she taught?
What did she teach?
French.
She
Such is
rocked.
life.
I will never forget when you-know-who got caught cheating on... Were you in the class?
Yes, I was,
It was
sweating.
amazing.
I didn't even get caught, but when she got caught,
when she got caught cheating, and she had it on her hand. You think you're gonna get away with
Foolish.
that in front of the coach?
No kidding. No kidding. I mean, this woman was...
She was a fucking...
I'm going to say this, the best of the best. Top tier.
She really was a top tier teacher. I mean, I won't forget when there was a kid in one of our classes who made fun of the fact that we had back braces. I think he called us retarded. And he like said it. He was like, oh, because you're retarded or whatever. And she was like, his name in French was Timon. And she was like, Timon. She was pissed. And she was just like,
I forget what she said.
she was not happy with him though, but
Yeah.
she rocked.
But we were all friends, so it was like...
But she was not putting up with it. She was like, they cannot control.
Yeah, I mean, she was
She was a great teacher.
and that woman feared God. Ugh, man. There were quite a few really hardcore Catholic teachers at that school.
She was
who
very,
really
very Catholic.
The coolest one, or one of my favorites, was Mr. Dempsey, who also was a bartender.
He rocked.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
He really liked us.
He did really like us because he knew that we were jerks. There is something to be said for high school teachers who could understand that you're a little asshole.
I'd love to have a drink with him and Mr. Studley. I'll say that right now.
There was a teacher. I was telling Kelly this story the other day, actually, that there was this teacher at my high school, Mr. Bishop, who was a really cool dude. But he used to play in a bunch of punk bands back in the day.
Yeah.
And he was in a band, Arma Angelus, that was actually relatively big. And then they broke up and went on to make Fall Out Boy, and then remember Rise Against? I don't know if you guys remember that. But there was one time where me and my friend Kyle were in Mr. Bishop's class in the computer lab, and we were looking up, him up and looking up, like, we were on the Arma Angelus Wikipedia page, and we're like reading about it. And what we didn't realize is that in the computer lab, the teacher can see everyone's screen and can like control the screen. So he like wrote a message on our screen, and all it said was "back to work," and it was like ... punks. It was very funny.
That's
There
very
were-
funny.
Barlow had some good teachers too, like the teacher.
But it also had some teachers that were way too invested in students' lives.
Yeah, that one got arrested though.
Really?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, he got arrested because he was caught like sending stuff to a girl that we all knew was, if there was anybody, it was gonna be her. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just
face?
yeah. And
Didn't she have a lisp?
no. That's another girl. Another girl had a lisp, but she wasn't like a sad like case.
Right,
She was just a regular whore.
Right.
You know. There's a difference. Cause
Kelly and I are city girls with small town gossip.
Well, no. Here's the thing though, that you end up learning.
She
about,
was just a regular whore.
Well, no. Listen. You know, you had some classic whores in high school who who flirted with all the teachers, and all the teachers were like, yeah, okay, all right, whatever. But then you had some who, like, their connection with the teacher, you're like, something's not right here.
You know, honestly, there was like none of that at St. Joe's.
Well, Catholic school.
Yeah, it was a little
feel
more
like-
classy in that regard.
Yeah.
But God, could these kids drink? Not me. I was a good egg.
Well, there was a teacher at my high school. Okay, so actually, I mean, this is just a few years ago. There's a teacher at my high school who he was a teacher forever, like a math teacher. He was like high up in the school, all of this. And then his son, who was a year older than me, had become a teacher at the school a few years ago and was coaching the basketball team. And the basketball team was doing pretty good. And then that guy got caught like with one of the students. The son got caught with one of the students.
A male student or
No, a female student.
Oh, okay.
And like was so here's the thing right here. He was like doing some whatever stuff with some 16-year-old kid that was in his school.
So the whole legacy goes down in fucking
His
flames.
Dad also resigned over the thing. Not like he was doing it too. He was just like, "Fuck, dude, my fucking kid."
Yeah, you ruined the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, holy
You know what?
moly.
Here's what I don't understand with, because, like, 1 minute around a
Yikes.
16-year-old, and I'm like, you're annoying as fuck.
I hate teenagers. They scare
Yeah,
the
I
shit
can't
out of
even
me.
imagine.
I don't like
can't
them at
even
all.
imagine. Like,
they ruin my fucking day.
There's something that has to be. I mean, obviously these people are predators, so they're just, they're like.
If
looking
I
for
talk to
somebody,
anybody
whatever.
under the age of 25, I'm like, I mean, Cameron's right outside. I'm sorry.
Cameron's
different.
Cameron and his girlfriend are literally, as in terms of how I will talk to an adult, as low as I will go.
Yeah.
And they're 20 and 21. But I will. I mean, if you're.
But it's also they're in comedy too.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Yeah,
so
totally
it's
different.
fine, but like we have I don't know. It's very strange to me when people talk to 14-year-olds or like they know the world. It's like they don't know the world. Like they don't know shit. What are you trying to relate? Yes.
I couldn't do it. I always said that, like, if I was going to teach, I would have to teach. I would have to do college. I would have to be a professor. So I'd have to get my master's and I'd have to get my doctorate.
No.
or I'd want to.
100% elementary school. Elementary school kids are the sweetest, most, because when I was substitute, they are, like, you got to go to, like, 1st or 2nd grade. Because they come in every day, they look at you, the adult in the room, and they go, I love you. And that's it. And then you just teach them 4 plus 4. You know, I can't do like 4th or 5th grade because I'll tell you, some of that shit's going to stump me.
I know.
We like
I was thinking about it. I was
Pythagorean
like,
theorem.
honestly, have you seen these new kids with their math? Have you seen how they're teaching them
They
to
do it
math?
totally different.
What the hell is
There's
going
a
on?
lot of
Math
circles, way more circles.
A lot
where
more circling, a lot more process. Not as much going on right in the noggin. It's
yeah,
weird.
that's the thing is that I'm like, you should be able to add it just to add it.
Yeah.
Not to be like, well, I did this trick, so I figured out how to add it.
Yeah. Because let me tell you, they keep getting to the damn registers and suddenly they accidentally put in a $10 bill when they clicked a $5 bill and they can't figure it out for shit. They're like, I have no idea what change I'm supposed to hand back. I'm like, you have no idea?
But
you have
you know
no
what, though?
idea. You added 5. That's it. You just added 5.
But they don't, I'm telling you, we were talking about it today on a happy hour work call about kids in this next generation and how much they're on their screen and how much they communicate through the screen and how
It's wild.
And on top of it, they can't do math like they're supposed to.
No.
I just don't even know.
It's kind of sad because I love math.
I actually like math
was
too.
like kind of it was actually my favorite. I think it was my favorite subject, I would say, growing up. Because it just made sense to me. I was like, there's a right and a wrong answer here. Nothing can be interpreted. You either get it or
That's
you
why
don't.
I didn't like it, because I was like, damn, there's only one answer, then I have to find the one answer? Fuck.
Least favorite subject. 1, 2, 3.
History!
See, you guys are freaking dorks, dude.
No, you
Hated
want to know what it
history.
is? You need a good history
You
teacher,
need a good
and we
history
never had
teacher,
one.
And we never had one.
I had a great history teacher.
Yeah, it's
8th grade.
all about
I
having a
also-
good history teacher.
But I just like my attention span in regards to that stuff.
It
you
needs to be
lose me.
visual. If you showed me history all played out through movies,
Show me the movie.
I'd get it. I would get it 100%. It's the reading with the name specification or whatever. Why am I learning about just the name and the day he was born? I should be learning about the story that is told.
Yeah.
If you tell it in a story, then people will understand it. But if it's just memorizing names and dates, fuck
Yeah.
that shit.
Not big on history.
fair.
Not big on even though I like writing, but I'm not big on reading. So reading comprehension was a rough one. I couldn't figure out what details were supposed to be important.
Yeah, I'm like, why would you put it in there if you didn't want me to focus on it?
Yeah, I'm confused. And I also, but in regards to the, I mean, 7th grade, I got the math and science award, and I was very good at science and very good at math. And for whatever reason, neither of those things I do with myself in regards to.
You want to know something? I can't think of one class that I really 100% paid attention in.
You're a liar.
I'm a liar?
You're a liar.
Carrie Moore is different.
Where you
Fine.
sitting? Where you sitting in the class?
All over the place.
Yeah, it depends.
But no, that class, Carrie Moore's class at TCU, that's an incredible course.
Well, also anything that involved communication, I was pretty present.
Yeah, I'm talking about elementary wise.
There was no class that you were present for? I was there in regards to math and science.
I was always distracted
Science
by a
was
million
always
things.
so interesting to me.
I always had like a bunch of other stuff going on in terms of like my own head and what other people were doing.
The problem is that the thing is that I loved art, but I'm too impatient. So
Yeah, that was
things-
the worst part about art.
I did fine. Nobody looked at me and was like, "Oh my god, like she's incredible in art class," because I was too impatient.
Yeah.
I would get so frustrated with myself. It was the same with like when I tried to do graphic design in college. I was just like, I'm running out of time. Not like I'm actually running out of time, but I'm running out of time with myself.
The graphic design course in college I made, you had to do a logo with your initials or your name. And mine was basically just like a smiley face, and in the mouth was KR or whatever.
I remember.
And he kept telling me, he was like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And I was like, "Yep, I'm sure. This is the one I want to land on. This is what I want to do." And he ended up giving me, I think, a B+ because he was like, "I think it's dumb as fuck, but she is."
But whatever.
She is dead certain on this. But hey, guys.
Hey.
We've had fun, have we not?
That's right.
Have we not?
I think we've had a good time.
I think we have had a good time.
I'm not, I'm not mad about anything anymore, and
Good.
we can totally Zoom at 7:30. I'm
Great.
available.
No one needs to be mad at me. I'm perfect. All right. Well, hey, we'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.